Guys, I'm here with Jay Engett of Engett Built in his garage in, I keep wanting to say Belleville. I know it's not. It's
Fredericktown.
In Fredericktown, Ohio. And we're basically here to go over all of Jay's, I guess. He's got kind of a Henry Jay'sAddiction, and I really liked what he's doing with our parts at ScottRods. And I wanted to kind of talk to him for a couple minutes about his builds and about what he's doing here. Basically, Jay, why Henry Jays?
Well, I've always been into the Henry Jays, but I had it started with a 68 Camaro I had, and it was a drag race car, and I ended up trading it to a guy out of Colorado for a 51 Henry J, and it was a race car. I always wanted a gasser Henry J. Race car wasn't really my big thing, but it was such a well-built race car that I couldn't cut it up and try to turn it into a gasser.
So it sat real low and
real low,
kind of the
big
different
tires.
look than what you wanted.
Yeah, it had an alcohol-injected small block Chevy in it with a Victor Ram intake, power glide.
Did you ever actually get to race it?
Yeah, we had it on the track. It ran like 1060s in the quarter mile up in Nevada, and it was a good running little car, neat little car, but just far from anything that I'd be able to turn into what I wanted out of one. And things came up, and I had sold it years ago. Gosh, I bet that's been 10, 13, 14 years ago, and always wanted to get back into them. And just kind of recently here, the last couple of years, it's been a good time for me. I've been pretty fortunate to find some, and just kind of
I
worked
think
out.
he means 3, by the way. There's 3 of them.
Yeah, there's a few of them in here. And you know, they just every time I start hunting for parts for one, I find another car. And it's like, man, I gotta stop hunting for parts.
How's the wife feel about that?
She's not real crazy about that.
He's over there giving a little bit of a look. So.
Yeah, she's not too tickled about that. The brown car, she really wasn't happy about that car, but she's awesome. She's a major supporter of mine.
Well, you said she started you off on the 312 car anyway.
She found the 312 car, yep, and that's kind of when I started getting back into pretty heavy. And just kind of been running with it.
So why gassers?
Gassers have always been something I love, hands down.
Just the stance or how they act?
The stance, the era, the whole thing that comes with it.
Okay.
The old parts, I like building my stuff with old parts. I've used everything old, vintage speed performance stuff on my cars.
He says that, but he's got a bunch of ScottRods fiberglass parts on all his stuff too.
Yeah,
so.
engine parts. For motor, it's an old Detroit 671 that's been rebuilt. It's got all new internals. Just all stuff that would have came from the era.
Right.
I just like it. I think it's neat. That's what's always drawn me to cars and car shows. Just been real big into it.
Draws kind of a cool crowd of people too. I mean,
it is.
It's a different type of crowd, especially with the Henry Jays. There's a little bit of a different kind of flavor that comes with it compared to like a 41 Willys or like even, you know, your Anglias and all that stuff. It seems like the Henry Jays are kind of the oddball of the gasser group, but at the same time, they are a very cool looking car. So.
They absolutely are. Yep.
So when do you expect to have the 312 car done?
312, I think we're planning early. We're hoping here maybe mid-spring. We got the motor out right now. We're getting ready to put the clutch in it, and then the motor's going back in for the final time. It's already all been put together once.
And for everyone asking that when he's going to have this thing running, he said mid-spring, so get on his ass if it's later than that.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I need it. Need the motivation. So we're going to get the motor back in, and then all we got left is just plumbing the brake lines, fuel lines, and wiring.
I got you.
And
then you have your son's car back here.
Yep, we got my son Austin's car. He's 17. That's his first hot rod, and that one we're going to kind of take our time with because there's a lot we're going to do to that car. Someone has already been cut into that car on as far as the body goes. My car was uncut. 312 was uncut. Has all the original firewall in it.
Yep.
I didn't want to cut all that up. His has already been cut, so that one we're going to be a little bit more aggressive with it, and we're going to set the motor back. We got big plans for it. Do a lot more custom stuff on that car. Borderline race car, still street legal though.
Very cool. And then we got Skid Row in the background. I don't know if we can see that yet, but back there, looking all dirty and nasty, but kind of cool as shit too. So that was one you just recently dug out of a barn?
Yeah,
or out of a backyard or a junkyard?
Out of a barn. I got it from a guy that he'd only had it for a few months. He bought it at an estate auction and came out of a barn where I was told it sat with, I believe he said there was 13 of them total. and 12 of them they were in pieces, and they were sold as a lot to a scrapper. So they all went as one, and he outbid on this car just because it was so solid and all there. He said he had no intentions. He wasn't sure what he was going to do with it, but he just knew that he couldn't let it go and get crushed and be gone.
Get all
You
cut
know.
up, so. And then you got plans to basically street drive that one, kind of leave it more as a rusty mess.
You know, the more we washed it up, the original paint and the way that it aged, it fits that car so well. I think that if we were to try and paint it and do something like that, it'd be so much more work. It would still be cool.
It wouldn't look right. But I mean, we want to be, you know, obviously involved in the next builds and stuff like that. We want to be part of, you know, he's going to doghouse this car and, you know, put quarters and stuff. We obviously want to be involved in that. One thing that you can do if you want to be in the same position Jay is right now is to start hashtagging ScottRods on Instagram, start tagging us on Facebook. You're also getting specialized stickers down the road too. We just got to get them taken care of and made, so we'll have all that stuff mailed to you too. So.
Okay, man, that's great. I really appreciate you guys.
No,
Everything up.
Jay, we really do appreciate your time. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate you letting me come down here and hang out for the day and stuff. And
I appreciate it.
hell yeah, man.
Definitely.
All right. Now, guys, if you can, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you see this on Facebook, make sure to share it. And you know, if you want to, make sure to tag the shop and stuff. Who knows? Maybe I could come to your place next.